There are regular fans. Then there are stars and personalities in their own right who turn ordinary fans during fight weekend in Las Vegas. Former undisputed world heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield was one of the hundreds of spectators who flocked to the MGM Grand Garden Arena to witness the weigh-in on Friday, a day before the much-anticipated Part 3 of the Manny Pacquiao Juan Manuel Marquez trilogy. In an interview with Kababayan LA, Holyfield said he had always been a Pacquiao fan, and though he did not give a full technical analysis of the matchup between Pacquiao and Marquez, he said all Pacquiao needed to do was be himself. But not discounting the Mexican fighter, Holyfield added that Marquez had to keep the faith. Kababayan LA also caught up with popular American professional ring announcer Michael Buffer, who shared his thoughts on Pacquiao and the boxing champ's rise to boxing glory.
A fighter who has become a legend in his own time, a future Hall of Fame fighter, 8 times a world champion, and of course here in Las Vegas he's going to be defending his WBO welterweight world championship. And how can that get old? I mean, it's what I do for a living, and sometimes when it gets to be at a level like this, it's just very, very exciting for me.
And when you do this all the time, is there ever a point where you spot them right on? Like when Manny was starting, did you know that he was going to be blowing up like this?
You know, I remember the first time I saw him was a fight. I believe it had to be stopped because of an accidental headbutt. That was in San Francisco. And of course he was much smaller then, and in his size and stature and his fame. But there was something special about him, you know, when he came into the ring, and just that some little quality. And ever since he's been hooked up with Freddie Roach training him and everything, you know, we see this magnificent, now legendary fighter that steps into the ring today.
When did you become a believer, a Manny Pacquiao believer?
You know, I guess, you know, with the first and second Morales fight, and I saw the way he came back to win that second fight, it's pretty interesting, and it really shows that, you know, he was somebody to be reckoned with in the world of boxing.
Third time, Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez. You were there for the first two. Third time, what is your assessment, your thoughts on the first two?
Well, you know, we just had the weigh-in, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed with the way Marquez looks at 142 pounds. Yeah. And so he didn't really have to bulk up or put on a lot of weight from his normal championship weight of 135. So I think we have a pretty even match. And as we know, you know, Marquez has always fought his best against the Pac-Man. So I think we're in for a great fight.
And best was what the Mexican Dinamita displayed when he fought the Philippine boxing hero in Las Vegas. The extra 12 rounds that were set to erase doubts and produce a clear winner from this matchup ended up confusing people even more. Too close was the fight that even boxing experts and fans disagreed with the results. And while Pacquiao got a majority decision, some boxing aficionados contend otherwise.
I thought it was an exciting fight, just as good as the first two. And, I mean, you heard the crowd. They were on their feet from the beginning to the end.
Do you agree with the decision?
No. I thought Marquez easily won the fight. You know, when they said the 115, 113, I thought that was too close. So when they said Manny had won the fight, I mean, I was pretty shocked. And I think Manny, you could see the frustration. He was having a lot of trouble landing. You know, you could see the look on his, you know, when the fight ended, he didn't even raise his hands. I think he kind of knew that there could have been a chance the decision didn't go his way. And so I was really surprised that he won the fight.
Tremendous fight. Two game fighters. Both came to compete, put on a show for the fans. I don't want to show my age, but I do come from the era where you have to do a little more to beat the champ. So that makes me not one of the fans that was upset with the outcome, but if I'm in the Marquez camp, I really feel like we found a way to win the fight.
If you were one of the judges, how would you have scored it?
If I was one of the judges, I had 7-5 Marquez. But Manny is the champ. They both were toe-to-toe, and you saw this in their first couple of fights. In particular, you see one fighter have 115, the other fighter had 115, 110, so they're kind of hard to judge when both fighters are going toe-to-toe.
Marquez clearly won the fight, in my opinion. He controlled the landscape of the ring. He landed, in my opinion, the cleaner, harder punches. He did more of what he wanted to do. He had Manny at times looking very frustrated. I thought Marquez won by about 3 points.
First time it ever happened to me. I was walking, through that mob scene to the press conference, and all the Mexicans are booing me. They said, "You stole the fight. You stole the fight." Like I had anything to do with anything. So, but I know there's a lot of, and I'm not demeaning that. I mean, when you get a fight like this, where so many rounds were close, if you're rooting for one or the other guy, you tend to score those close rounds for your guy. I'm not the best scorer. I had it 7-5 for Pacquiao. HBO had it 8-4 for Pacquiao. A lot of the writers, Kevin was telling me, had it 6-6, a draw. All of those scores are